What's up, guys? So today, rather than focus on the LALO portion of the attack, we're going to focus on what sets it up so that we can be successful without really having to focus too much on it. Because let's face it, most of us aren't pros. We're not going to be stars level LALO attacks, and we're not going to be being able to take down, like 70-80% plus of the base with the LALO. There are rare occasions if you have all singles and everything where you might pull off a sick attack, but for the most part, in today's meta, you want to be using the heroes to take out a large chunk, and then the LALO comes in to support. So we're gonna hop into a couple replays. I'm actually recording this outside, so you can hear the crickets, and that's a little bit fun. But without further ado, we're just gonna do it up. All right. Here we are beating up on another low legend base classic. So once again, we're focusing mostly on the mechanics of everything rather than the result itself. So flame flinger value, are identifying the really obvious flame flinger value. In this case, obviously there's not going to be always some super obvious flame flinger value, but in this case we're going to take it when we get it. Also, exposed clan castle, we're going to take that when you get it. The key here though is to drop an archer before you lure it so that everything doesn't go and run off to your clan castle once the first troop that lures it dies. So everything gets pulled out here. I'd kill it with 2 super barbs. And then I decide to enter into these 2 defenses here. So I'm not worried too much about the monolith because I have 2 skelly spells. So here we go. So you'll notice here, I let the king start tanking here just because that the multi-archer tower isn't a huge deal, because once you drop that skelly spell, it adds more targets so that she's only ends up hitting 1 there. The expo's on him too, but we're not too worried about that. We want the ice golem to get deeper here, so we're dropping it delayed. And the wizard is out here funneling. Now here we go into the base. As we're entering here, I can see that my queen is starting to come off here, and I kind of misjudged. I thought that this was a 4-tile gap to this archer tower, so we end up having to. So I tried to invis here to force her to go into the scatter, but instead she goes over to the archer tower. So at that point, I needed to kill the archer tower really quickly before that invis wears out, or I waste another invis. So I just pop her ability right away, and then she turns around and goes back to the scatter like I intended. Now here we go. We're heading into the core here, and then as we approach here, I freeze this, and then they take out the monolith before the invis tower pops because of the freeze. King's wandering off, but he's already done his job opening up the base, and at that point, he takes the RC down, and my queen is in a big pocket of safety because I still have the invis, the rage, and 2 freezes. So she's easily going to grab this town hall, and then she beats through a wall. I send a wall break to help her. It goes late, so it goes there. Now as she comes in here, I drop the RC to support, and before I've dropped any of my balloons, we're at 46% here. And then basically we just let the RC ability deal with the core here. So there it comes. We drop the rage, the freeze. They get caught up with a NATO, and then there's so many spells and everything swarming from all directions because the hero value was so crazy, plus the flame flinger. When you're about to send your king in here, if there's no splash damage really accessibly targeting the outside here, you can use a giant and a skelly, and then that way you preserve the king's HP until he's into the area that you want. Once he starts taking real damage, then you pop the gauntlet so that he takes full advantage of the damage reduction from it and doesn't waste any by dying before it wears off. So that's just one quick little way that you can get a little more value out of your king. Make sure that he's going in and not getting melted on the outside of the base while he kills trash buildings. Okay, right here we are identifying the flame flinger value once again, just to kind of pick a spot to help us choose where to enter. That flame flinger value not only gets the multi-archer tower, which is good, but it also cuts a nice funnel for the heroes into this long path, so that once this bomb tower and this tower our multi-archer tower is down, the heroes will just follow this big compartment all the way over here into both the multi area, the CC area, or the town hall area. What we end up doing is we just send both heroes together on this one. No split, because we're going into such a high damage area that we need both working together. Then once again, when the king is in the high damage area and he starts taking damage, so we get him in there with the skelly, the giant, and the ice golem. That's how we deliver the heroes into there. And then once he's in there, so we take full advantage of the damage reduction of the giant gauntlet, because that's the real main benefit of the giant gauntlet. We pop it with the earthquake boots, damaging everything up, and we just shred that entire compartment. He barely takes any damage until he comes over to the monolith, but that helps us get the CC lure, and then the queen works in here. We end up missing the freeze on this, so the queen doesn't secure the town hall, but that was 100% an option here. We could have for sure got that town hall down if I would have just noticed the clone targeted the town hall instead of the whatever the other building was. So, but as you can see, they work in there really nicely, and we still have the RC, we still have everything. And then, you know, once that town hall survives like 1 HP, as you can see, so then we start the LALO in down here, freezing and hasting in just to clear that compartment quickly. The RC's job is to just go in and finish that town hall, and then, as you can see, once we finally start the LALO, there's basically nothing left. You know, there's the queen, and then there's this multi, and we have 2 freezes, a rage, the warden ability, and a haste with 11 loons and a hound for the back instance. I'm sure that there's better variations of this one that are done in high legends, but like this one's kind of silly. But you know, I get what the base builder was trying to do, and it can trip people up sometimes if you don't know how to approach it. So the main thing here is that you have all these rings going around the base, and you really just need to break it somehow. So you just got to cut that ring. So for me, I use a flame flinger, so that way that you're starting the funnel on this side here. Now that's like what I just decided. You could pick the corner that you like. The reason why I chose this side here is because that once I funnel this in here onto this side, and I drop my queen, which you'll see, I'm thinking about the king here, and he's just that extra layer of insurance that once my queen works in and takes these buildings, that she has a target here to deal with. So that was just like a safe funneling area. But also the other side of this too is that once you kill this building here, this one, this cannon is out of range from the queen, from where this ice golem is standing, so that she will, since I placed her in between this and the archer tower, she's going to lean this way and go towards up that way. So that's how we initially start the funnel there. And then we wait until we know that she's coming around at all, and then we drop the king. So now there's no other place for my wall breakers to go, so we cut it open. The king walks in and goes towards the queen. I invis to break the aggro, and then as soon as the king goes in here, I pop the quake boots and I pop the queen mirror. So now we have the invis and the rage, and we have all of this working, and the king is tanking for the queen. She's staying safe in the back. And then we're just freezing what's needed in the town hall here. We invested that last rage, but the queen didn't get that multi. I was hoping that she would get this multi with that last rage, but at that point you can see, without even using the RC, I drop her there just to kill that ice hound and then work in. We've killed 49% of the base. We still have the warden, we still have 3 hounds, we still have 2 skellies, 2 hastes, and a poison to deal with this back end RC. So we're sorry, not the poison, the poisons for this, but you know, we still have all this stuff to deal with that, and the base is crushed at that point. So really it's just about taking the time to set your funnel, make sure your heroes get into the core, and making sure that you use the necessary spells where needed. In this instance, because the outside ring has so little damage on it, you don't need to really use any spells to tank for the king and queen, because they can work through it pretty easily and then have everything ready to go for the core. Alright, this last one here I just recorded on my phone. I was doing some FCs while I was waiting in my car one day. But the main thing I wanted to stress here wasn't anything about the funnel or anything, but I wanted to show off the potential with the giant gauntlet paired with the earthquake boots, and then the magic mirror falling in behind. So the giant gauntlet's main purpose here, once we go into this high damage area, is just to give this king all of that tanking from the damage reduction of it, as well as opening up everything for the queen to come in behind. We're not being super hasty with the queen. We're letting her walk in and get into a prime position, and then finally, once she starts to take damage, we pop that mirror, invis, and then the rage. And then she starts working away at everything. She takes all of that core out, and then right there she creates a little pocket of safety for herself. So we wait for another second using the invis on the main queen and then the other clone that's near her, And then since we're so close to the town hall, I decided to invest one more rage and freeze just to get that town hall there so we don't have to LALO through it. And as you can see, we're at 35% before we even drop the RC or any of the hounds, loons, or warden, or the siege. Alright, yeah, so that last one was hard mode, by the way. I forgot to mention that while I was saying, just quick little subtle flex. But hopefully that gives a quick little insight into, how to maybe approach just the entry of your attacks so that you can get a little deeper into the base, get that value that you're looking for so that your LALO attacks become more successful. Anyways, guys, take it easy. I'll see you on the next one, and appreciate it as always.